Hello, savages. I have missed the bejesus out of you. It's Savage Brewski back recording. I'm all moved. I'm basically settled. I'm not really unpacked. I'm still kind of stressed. But I thought I would check in, say hello, and I wanted to show you guys one thing. Number one, the setup here. Number two, I thought I would show you how I packed up all my miniatures, my models, my kits, and how well they made it here, because some of this was a little bit different. I had metal models, I had plastic, I had Gunpla, and basically I can say everything made it. So I'm going to show you guys what I packed up, how I did it, and this might help you if you're coming up to a move, you need to relocate, or you just want to store your minis away. This is probably going to show you some good ways to work with very simple things to pack them away. So let's take a look. So first off, new desk. I got a little bit more room. I got a lot of the stuff that I really tend to enjoy. Yes, that's Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. Yes, that's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Yes, that's Broly. Yes, those are Gunpla. And yeah, I just finally have room for all the stuff I really like. As you can see, I'm working on some more Gunpla at the moment. And I have the patented shelf storage system back up. I had to do that a little bit differently, but who cares? L setup, and that is kind of what I'm sticking to. Now, I'm going to get to some of the various things I packed up. So obviously you see there's some Gunpla up there, and how did I store those to get them here? Well, basically two ways. One is I use these little sandwich containers, basically, and this is all taped up, okay? And I have not opened this yet. This literally came out of a box and it's here. So you're about to see how the Gunpla inside is. This is my Goof Custom that I finished not super long ago. And all I did was 4 corners of tape on, and this was not like a super rigid one. This is like the store brand, really flimsy guy. So all I did was inside, I've got the Gundam itself, and I've got some of this. This is just craft foam. It's little sheets of EVA foam. It's really not thick at all, as you can see. And I just had some of that around. And there's the Goof. As you can see, it made it in one piece. Obviously, I found these really useful. You can get these in craft stores. They're little plastic jars, and I put like the extra hands. He's got a heat rod, a heat whip in there, and I basically just threw those in that and threw that into the container. And you can see the Goof itself made it just fine. No breaks, no nothing. His hand is in the jar. It's not broken off or missing or anything. So that I am really happy about. Another way I packed these is I had some boxes of perfect size, basically. This has my Gundam Sandrock in it. And about all I did was pack it in with a little bit of, I don't know what you call that. I think it's just folded crepe paper, whatever it is, but I just packed him in there. And he's a little messy to pull out, but he made it in one piece. So Gundam Sandrock, my boy. And unfortunately, I just kind of had to throw his extras and his attachments in here kind of helter-skelter. So he's got, come on, dude. All the swords variously made it. But the only thing is one part of a hand came off and it's in the box, so I have it all anyway. But otherwise, the Gunpla made it. And you guys probably saw the Sky Zero Gundam up there. That's in progress. That was mostly on the frame. I think I'd built the head and the torso, and that's about it. So really no loss there. It came through just fine. So Gunpla, 5 out of 5. They made it. Battletech. And basically I managed to fit everything into my Game of Armored Combat box. This wasn't taped. This wasn't packed specially. This is thick cardboard, okay? This is pretty tough. And I'll show you what I did. This starter set comes with a big tray that's actually the size of the box, and it holds all the cards, the dice, and all that stuff. You don't really need that to hold the cards. It's just kind of empty space. So what I did was I have a couple more miniatures than the starter set. So all I did was I cut that top half of the tray off, as you can see, and I just have my other miniatures up top underneath. They made it just fine. And I've got my dice, I've got my cards, I've got my pen and pencils, and I've got my record sheets and rules and all that stuff in here as well. So that made it a-okay. Battletech, if you're worried about it, just so you know, they are single models. I'm not sure if this is plastic or resin. I think it's plastic because it's pretty hardy. It doesn't crack. It doesn't bend very easily. And these things are just champs. I could throw this around and it would pretty much make it all day. Not to the point where anything's super painted. These were just spray primed. This is a Victor, and that made it in totally fine shape. Nothing's even chipped off. So Battletech all made it here. The one thing I'm not going to show you is my bin of old models. I basically have a tool tray that is just older models I don't really use anymore. Some of those I can just show you. I pulled these out for Idiotic Sin. He's a guy who does 40K memes. I had some Aurora chapter. I've got scouts and a captain, and I just had these guys for fun. I was looking at chapters I might want to play, and I literally just, well, you know, I'm going to do up a box of scouts. I'll do up a commander, and those made it just fine. I've got those up on my shelf here, and they are just absolutely in good shape. There's no real issue with them. No loss of paint, no loss of detail. If you appreciate old kits, this is the old plastic Space Marine Commander. I absolutely love that kit. That's the kind of thing we need more of, if I'm totally honest. And surprisingly, that thing came through totally fine. It wasn't padded, it wasn't packed. The models are literally just loose in this tool tray, and nothing broke. Not a thing broke. I've got dreadnoughts, I've got rhinos, I've got land speeders, I've got bikes. Everything made it. Nothing broke. So if you want that tool tray, Home Depot. Yep. Getting to my other Warhammer models. So basically, these are the Space Marines and most of the Tyranids from the latest Ultimate Edition starter box. And all I did is I got these thin Tupperware containers. Okay. And you can see my guys are mostly in there. And all I did was, they have a locking mechanism for the lid. All I did was sticky tack them to the bottom of the tray. Okay. And I padded the top with a bunch of, this is literally just cotton. There's nothing fancy to it. It's just wads of cotton. And pulling that all out. So this looks to be my Space Marines with a couple extras. And most of the small Tyranids. And I'm very surprised because there's a grand total of one model. It's not even from this set necessarily. It's a Assault Intercessor, and it's just off its base. The model itself is intact. This is my one Death Spectre that I painted up. And it just came off the base, but everything else, it's in there. It ain't moving. And nothing is broken off, no appendages, no nothing. So box number one, everything came through in one piece. Box number two, I did very, very similar. It's the same type of sort of Rubbermaid container. This has a little bit chunkier stuff. This has some of my Necrons in it. And about the only thing I did different there is I wrapped up a few of these with more of that EVA foam. You can see cotton. Tape was securing this, of course, but blue tack under the bases. You can tell I'm going to be making a lot of smoke terrain. Yeah. So this had some oddball stuff in it, but you can see some of the bigger models from the starter kit. The Von Ryan's Leapers, the Barb Gaunts, the Tyranid Prime, and getting into some of my other stuff. My Necrons, I've got an old Eldar Wraith Lord there, and those made it just, woo. My camera almost took a flyer because it was taped, but those made it all just fine. And I'm really proud here. I have a couple of Infinity models, which if you've ever put together, they're very metal and they're very small. Bernie made it. He's just super glued to the base, and even he friggin' made it, okay? So I cannot endorse enough using these containers and just blue tacking the models by the bases or by their sides. The Necron Synoptic Wraiths here made it totally fine. Just blue tack on the base, laying them down. They fit totally well. There's nothing kind of poking up outward of this whole container. Everything in those two made it just fine. The one guy can be glued right back to his base. So models all made it here. Now, I'm going on to the last box I have to show you. And if this all made it, I'm going to be really surprised. I just took an Amazon box. This is all of my metal miniatures for Warcaster Neo-Mechanika. And I had actually recorded this. I just pulled out my phone and did this. This one is a little bit weird. Okay. I'm going to describe what I did here because metal models, in my experience, and I'm sure in some of yours, even when you've pinned them, even when you've super glued them 5 times, and you put on 3 coats of paint, even hoping to God that that just survived somehow, even those sometimes don't make it. So what I did here was a little bit different. I packed the models and I wrapped them all up in a little bit of parchment paper, okay? And I put those in the bottom of a box, and I spray foamed the hell out of the top of the box. Okay, so you can hear this. There's not a lot of movement. I've got my mic pretty close to the box. There's not a lot of movement here. So I'm gonna see about getting this out, because obviously spray foam sticks to everything, okay? So this is hard, this is rigid, this is not going anywhere, and that was kind of what I wanted it to do. What I think I have to do is actually open it up from the bottom of the box and pull my miniatures out from the bottom. Okay, one step I did forget was on the bottom of the box, I had taped down some EVA foam just to serve as a little bit of padding for the model on the bottom. All right, so that off. You can see the bases of the miniatures through the wax paper and everything. It obviously didn't foam on the bottom. Just gonna see if I can pull any out as it is. And this was, I did not wrap this super well, okay? This is just in the paper. Okay, we have my ISA Paladin Commander. 1 piece. Void Gate. 1 piece. I think, it looks like I can get a Warjack here. ISA Light Warjack. Firebrand. 1 piece. Come on. Come on. Not even loose. Just get out of here. All right, so I'm not going to bore you with every single model, but everything's right and tight. Everything is, you know, it's not moving. Coalition Warder. 1 piece. That's amazing. So I'm going to have to Jaws of Life the rest of these out of here. I kind of knew that was coming, but guys, just spray foam. Spray foam. Are you kidding me? $5 at a hardware store, a little bit of wax paper, and an Amazon box. You can't go wrong. And every metal model I have, I'm pretty sure made it. Get out of town. I've literally survived a move with everything intact. So at some point, I might have to show you how I did that and just walk you through the process if you really want to know. But I'm really impressed. I can put these up now. I can get gaming again. Everything made it. You know that rule, it's not a move unless something breaks? Well, I mean, we had a piece of furniture. Oh, well. We did have some setbacks. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of the move, but, I mean, my miniatures all freaking made it. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. I just wanted to sort of show you how I'd packed miniatures in case you're about to move. Maybe you're interested and just let you know, hey, I arrived, I'm back to making content, and I'm well underway on other projects. I've gotten some materials already shipped out here, getting my bearings of what's where, what I have around me and all that stuff. If you're in the Sacramento area and you're watching, please let me know. I'd be happy to go check out some game haunts, meet up sometime. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next video. So stay savage, take care.